Ah, the pentatonic scale. And all those well-meaning YouTubers telling you how they alone can make guitar playing simple, or learn this trick to play the pentatonic, or you don't need to know theory to use the pentatonic, or just buy this and you'll finally get it. My friends, followers, family, grandkids, and any medieval musical theorists out there, there are no tricks or shortcuts here. Anyone trying to convince you of such is robbing you of some serious musical theory that will broaden your mind and improve your range as a guitarist. By the end of this video, I'm going to try to convince you the opposite of most YouTube videos on this topic. I'd like to convince you that the pentatonic scale fits perfectly with and comes from the 7-tone scale and also our 12-tone or chromatic scale, how it can cover the entirety of the fretboard, along with easy shifts or movements of the pattern to play in a variety of musical genres. And as a bonus, I'll show you 3 exercises you can add to your personal practice. From there, you can continue on your own or stick around here with us at Treble Life to dive deeper into the theory and practical use for your performances across your musical lifetime. All ready? Let's go. The pentatonic scale is a 5-tone scale, just as the name pentatonic means. Penta from the Greek for 5, and tonic from the Greek for tone. It is very popular as a minor scale with the characteristics of a flatted 3rd and 7th, and one of its more popular uses is played like this. I'm going to play in the key of A. You'll hear this pattern in lead guitar improvisation in blues, rock and roll, some metal, jazz, really any song that has the characteristics of a flatted 3rd and a 7th. You can listen to Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, and a who's who using it. And it can be played as a 5-tone or pentatonic major scale like this. This is also in the key of A. You'll find this pentatonic major scale in country, gospel, popular music, really any song with the characteristics needing a major. Now, it's so important to remember that by musical definition and accepted theory or teaching, the 5-tone scale is just that, a 5-tone scale within 1 octave. The order and the use of the 5 tones is up to you, the creator. Should you study the 2 primary forms I'm highlighting here? Absolutely. Knowing the use of these forms and how it is used and useful in our most popular music is essential, but also recognize that these tones are ancient and in use worldwide. The pentatonic, or 5-tone scale, was thought to have been used during the European Upper Paleolithic or Old Stone Age, some 40,000 years ago. Flutes made from swan bone and woolly mammoth ivory were found in Germany's Swabian Alb region. And though I have no proof that Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin or Tim Henson from Polyphia played on a woolly mammoth ivory, I know that music connects us all, from these ancient times to now. You and I are recrafting, rethinking, and developing our own musical concepts and the use of the 5-tone or pentatonic, and 7-tone or heptatonic in the Greek, and 12-tone or chromatic scales. We also know that not only did Pythagoras during his lifetime, 570 to 495 BC, make a scientific study of tones that seem to occur naturally in the world, but also Confucius during his lifetime, 552 to 489 BC, a similar time to Pythagoras, with some researchers suggesting that the pentatonic scale originated in China, and it's definitely there that some of the oldest and most profound studies on the medicinal power of music can be found. That's a whole nother subject for a video. Now, let's get back to popular uses of the currently popular pentatonic scale. The major or minor pentatonic is often mixed together, and you can hear this in a number of Led Zeppelin songs, like the lead from Black Dog, Stairway to Heaven, and this style of lead guitar improvisation can really open up the fretboard to you. Let me play some mixed pentatonic, major and minor. I'm going to start in the minor. To the major. Did you notice how the pattern stays exactly the same and simply shifts the key or tonic? And what is that exactly like? The church modes, which are based on the major or diatonic scale, and shifts the tonic or key to change characteristics. So then looking at this pattern, the key for the major is here, and also for the minor, with the flatted third and seventh is here. And if we look a little bit further, all we have to do to make the shift between major to the minor is raise the pattern by a whole and a half step, a step and a half, to achieve a minor setting. And lower our minor pattern by the same interval, a whole and a half step, a step and a half, like this. I'm in the key of A playing both positions of the pattern. First the major, now the minor. Does the pattern change at all? No. Same pattern configuration. This pattern simply moves down in pitch by a whole step plus 1/2 for the major scale from the minor, and vice versa from the major to minor with a flatted third and a flatted seventh. Now you may ask, hey Grandpa Matt, how many patterns are there? Excellent question. Just as the 7-tone scale has 7 patterns, each starting on each one of the 7 notes in the scale, so does the 5-tone scale have 5 patterns, each starting from each of the 5 tones or notes. Another question, does the relative major and minor scale still apply? Again, another excellent question, and yes. For example, A minor are the same notes and pattern to play as C major. Now, let's look at all 5 pentatonic patterns and their connections. I'm going to start with the minor pattern and what we refer to here as pattern 1 of 5. It can start anywhere along the fretboard on the 6th string or low E. I'll start it from A. Now, let's move up in pitch to the 2nd note I played, as this begins another pattern we call pattern 2 of 5. Now, okay, on to the 3rd pattern, played from the 3rd note in the pentatonic scale. Now to the 4th pattern. And then on to the 5th pattern. And if you notice, the 5th connects directly into the 1st pattern and repeats the whole process again. You can get all these patterns and the 7 patterns free on our website, FYI&C. That's for your information and convenience. It's an old joke of mine. Now, how can you use these patterns in a major note setting? Is there any difference in the 5 when played major to minor and vice versa? No, there is no difference. The patterns connect just as I played, but you would shift or move the key to this note in the pattern. Now, how does the pentatonic work with the 7-tone scale, also called in the Greek the heptatonic? It's precisely connected and part of the 7-tone scale. In the minor setting, the minor pentatonic drops or leaves out the 2nd and 6th notes or degrees, and in a major setting, leaves out the 4th and the 7th. Now, some fun exercises for you to use. First, get pattern 1 from our website, follow the pattern, start on the 6th string at the 5th fret on the note of A. Play from the lowest note A, and then each note moving up in pitch or ascending. Notice in the pattern the ability to bar all or just a few strings at a time, whatever your finger will allow. Here's how it might sound. Now let's move on to exercise number 2. Move the whole pattern down by a whole and a half step and emphasize the A as the key and start from the A. You can use a play-along video found elsewhere on our channel or our website. There are and always will be free versions available, so no one has to have cost become a factor in their ability to learn to play the guitar. Play slowly and begin to hear the difference in the same pattern with different characteristics between a minor and a major like this. exercise. Go to our website, print out the blank fretboard from the site. A whole bunch of it's okay, and you can. Write out the pattern in the middle of the fretboard diagram and begin to see how the fretboard can be filled in with all the patterns. Remember that in our suggested personal practice, the objective is to really get to know your fretboard and see the patterns. And then spend as much time as you can with your fingers on the fretboard and playing and practicing and learning. All of the patterns I've shown here and used are available on our website, which you can get by clicking on the link below. Please remember, and take it from me, Grandpa Matt, if you will, there are no shortcuts, there are no tricks. It is you, your guitar, and the more time you invest in study and practice, the more you'll get your fingers on the fretboard, as I like to say, the more you'll grasp the theory and be able to play to whatever intent you may desire. You may want to form habits for practice and setting a time or times, daily or weekly, and then be very protective of that time. Don't give up or trade your practice time if you can. An idea would be 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon, or 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. Spend less time watching videos like mine and more time in practice. After you've practiced each day, then you can come on here and tell me about it and talk with us about it in the Treble Life community. Finally, let's talk about finding the right teacher or combinations of teacher, as that is key along your musical journey. When I'm considering a new teacher or resource for learning, I usually ask questions like, what is your basis for teaching? How can you help me create? How did you come about your process for teaching? What are your teaching and learning references? What do you believe in and hope for me? And can you show me examples of your lesson plans? As your lead guitar instructor here at Treble Life, I promise to you that I'll work my hardest to do all of the above and more. Now, download our patterns for free, start studying them, connecting them, use our pals for free to play along in all styles of music. As always, thank you so much for watching our videos here at Treble Life. This has been a lifelong dream of mine to bring guitar education to the world in the way that I've learned it from my mentors and continue to learn after 50 years of playing. Note that I read every single comment on our channel and invite you to start a real discussion with me about music and life. And that's why we're called Treble Life. Oh, and please subscribe.